Hi everybody, welcome to my TED Talk, my manifestation TED Talk. I'm going to be very raw and honest. And I'm going to give you insight on my life. This means a lot to me. I'm doing this mostly for me, to remind myself that I don't need to work hard. All my life, I believed that I needed to work hard, but also at the same time that it was never enough, because working hard is never enough. In my childhood, I had instances where I would work really, really hard to satisfy my dad. I was being this perfect daughter just for him to not be satisfied, to choose my brother over me, to tell me, oh, you got an A minus, why didn't you get an A plus? Or you got an A, why didn't you get an A plus? He was never satisfied. And this created this belief that even if I don't, first of all, that I need to work hard to earn anything in my life, because my family, that's what they believed. But also, even if I worked hard, it was never enough. The first year I spent abroad was the worst year in my life. Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Anyways, what I was trying to say, I was living with this toxic person. This person told me that I was never enough. She was repeating those affirmations to me. She was making me feel like shit, and no wonder. So I worked really, really hard, and I was doing the most. I was spending my whole time, my days, my life studying, trying to understand, but I was never understanding because this woman was always repeating to me that I was stupid. So I would read those notes and they would never go in my mind. I remember how frustrated I was because when I was reading those notes, they were not going in my mind. And it was not because I was stupid, because the year prior I was at the top of my class. I was the best of the best. I had surpassed everybody that I knew. All my bullies, I had surpassed them. I was the best. Okay? And so I did. Okay. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about my trauma, but I'm giving you examples. First off, I'm starting off with examples where I did the most and didn't succeed. Now, let me give you examples where I didn't do the most. I just manifested. I just changed my thoughts. I just lived in a state of peace. I lived in a state of peace and I got what I wanted. Okay. Let me tell you. Okay, so many times on my Instagram account, I would do the most. I would try my best. I would post. I would use these techniques that I learned on. I gotta go in like 40 minutes. But it's cool. We got 40 minutes. But I'm not ready, so I'm gonna start getting ready. If I start making sounds, I'm sorry. But you understand. Okay, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So yes, so I was trying so hard to get a follower, so hard to get clients, so hard to get this. I was doing the most, okay? I was trying my best to grow my account, my Instagram account. Soft clouds, I was doing the most. When I tell you, and it never worked, or it gave small results, it was never enough. It was never enough. That's one feeling that I internalized as a child for some reason. Well, I know for what reason. My father never made me feel like I was enough for him. And that's why I had a lot of bad experiences with men, where I would chase men, I would change myself for men, and it would never stick, it would never last, because I never felt enough. And I sabotaged many relationships because of that. I sabotaged, not me actually acting out or doing whatever. I sabotaged it with my thoughts. Like, once I get into a positive relationship, it would just go downhill. Because of my thoughts. Because I never felt secure. I always thought, no. Like, my dad made me feel like I'm not enough, so I must not be enough. So this person must not think that I'm enough. But anyways, I'm getting off track here. So anyways, and when I decided to manifest, to affirm, to, you know, every single time, by the way, every single time that I decide, oh my God, you know, I'd like to have some clients, you know. I affirm for some clients. They show up. It's amazing. It's a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? There's this flower that's dying right now. Yeah, let's put this flower back in the water. I might need to change the water, actually. It's kind of dirty. Yeah, so when I affirm for fucking clients, I get clients. When I'm trying hard to get clients, I don't get clients. Which is fucking crazy. Example number 2. Every single time. Last year, I did a test. I was like, I'm going to put the most into my appearance. I'm going to wear heels. I'm going to wear dresses. I'm going to do this, and this. But I'm not going to change my affirmations. I'm just going to exist. I'm going to dress amazingly every day. And I'm going to see if I attract men. Right? And you're going to be like, oh my God. Why is she shallow? It was a test. I don't care about men, bruh. It's always a test. To test my manifestation abilities. To prove a point. I did that to prove a point. And a point was made, okay? A point was made because nobody asked for my number, even though I looked the hottest. I got compliments, yeah. I even got compliments from men. But it never went beyond that. They never asked for my number. They never did this and this and this and this. Fucking crazy. Okay. When I started affirming for them to give me to ask for my number, to them to ask me for dates, I had dates lined up. Okay, perfect. Another example, including men, because my life was really centered around men because, you know, I had daddy issues, and I was trying to get validation from men. So don't judge me, bruh. But it's over now, so we're good. But another example is I used to listen to a lot of gurus and follow their advice. I'd be like, oh my God, so I'd be taking notes from these gurus. And, wait, I'm kind of hungry right now. Okay, so I'd take notes from these love gurus. I'd listen. They're like, oh my God, so to manipulate a man, to basically that's their content. Their content is you need to manipulate people and act a certain way to get what you want. So, okay. So what I did, I would listen to these day and night. I would listen. Like, I'm a very obsessive person, so all I do was fucking listen and repeat and listen to the same content and listen to the same content. Insane behavior that I did, by the way. I was really doing the most. And then, I gotta do my hair. I'm trying to multitask here, and it's not easy. But, I forgot what I was trying to say. Oh, no. What was my example? Yeah, I would try these. So I was like in this phase in my life where I was actively dating. So I would try these techniques. I would try to manipulate men. I would try to use these tips. And it doesn't fucking work. It didn't work. Why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? Because your thoughts create reality. I can't emphasize this enough. Like this, the biggest lesson I learned in my life was that my thoughts create reality and that I don't have to work hard. And it's one of the hardest things for me to accept, and it was one of the hardest pills to swallow, because all my life my family told me you need to work hard to make it, but really they never made it, you know. I'm not saying they never made it, like, okay, so they didn't make it, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody I know that surrounded me is still working hard. You're telling me I need to work hard to make it, but you didn't make it to your dreams. Like, they didn't make it. I'm not shitting on my past people, okay? I'm just saying. I still see them struggling. Bitch, I am still struggling. Like, it's not that deep, but I'm just saying that the reason why I'm still struggling is because I just can't accept the fact that I can get things easily. Okay? I still believe that I need to work fucking hard to get shit. Okay? But it really isn't that. I don't need to. And, yeah, so literally when I started affirming that men would, buy me gifts, they did. When I started to affirm men would buy me flowers, they did. When I started to affirm men would never do 50-50 and they would pay for everything, they did. Goddamn, when I affirmed that, okay, and also, I used to listen to Sprinkle, okay? I love her advice. She makes good sense. I like her message. But she says you need to hang out in wealthy people places, and then one day they will come. She's not wrong, but she never mentioned manifestation. The thing is, you need to fucking affirm that you're gonna get approached by a rich man for him to approach you. So I spent a fucking long ass time going to these places, and I was never approached. And when I started affirming, damn, they started fucking approaching me. What the hell? Why aren't we taught this in our lives? I don't know. Anyways. Sorry, I'm like multitasking right now. I don't care, bro. Anyways. When I was trying to get viral and doing this random shit, it didn't work. But once I started affirming, it worked. And when I stopped affirming, it stopped working. It's just like, let me give you more examples. Let me fucking give you more examples. There was one time where I was like, you know what? Why don't I affirm to get paid to travel? That'd be cool. I didn't fucking believe in myself because it was fucking impossible. The circumstances were not favorable at all. Like, it was impossible for me to, like, I was in a situation that didn't allow me to travel. Like, it was impossible for me to travel. And the craziest shit ever happened. I had been accepted in this new job. And, so I had been accepted in this new job. Just accepted. And apparently they were going on this trip together that I didn't even know about, by the way. And something happened where one of the members got into an accident. I didn't fucking affirm for that. I affirmed. What did I affirm? I affirmed I get paid to travel. That was literally my affirmation. So one of the members got into a little accident and had to go to the hospital, so I had to be with the family. They invited me to go and travel for them, and they paid for everything. They paid for my trip. They paid for my food. And I was paid also for being there and working there. So can we just talk about that? I was paid to travel. Plus, I had my family like telling me, oh, you should come, whatever. One of my family members paid for my trip to go back home and my trip back. Okay? I didn't have to actively fucking go and get it, I didn't have to fucking hustle. It just came to me. Are you fucking realizing this? Sorry, I'm like yelling at myself. I'm yelling at myself because I'm angry, because I know this, because I manifested so many things, and you probably manifested so many things, and you were sitting on your ass, and you didn't do nothing, and it just fucking came to you. Or like the inspiration came to you. You didn't have to fucking read no books. You didn't have to do this shit. You didn't have to watch no fucking videos. Shit just happened. When I started affirming for men to approach me, literally on my way to work, a dude stopped me. He was a very successful man. We're not going to talk about that dude. But anyways, one day I decided, you know what, I'm going to treat myself.